Adam Paul Seagram here, also known as the Spiritual Surfer. I've been a surfer all my life, so most of my life, and I've learned to surf the waves when they come, and as they're coming, and I have the gift of knowing, being a forerunner and knowing what's coming next, and I do that intuitive work all the time for myself and for others and for the planet. And what I know is that now that we've shifted into 2024, we're full on into the age of Aquarius. So we're to lift our spirits and our eyes up and choose the high road at all time and define your truth. My guidance today told me to talk about truth. Truth is in the eyes of the beholder. Everybody's truth is different. That's why all these religions and covenants and seminars and things, they all have their own truth. Everybody's speaking their own truth. And what people believe in becomes their truth and becomes their experience. So I want you to choose wisely. There's a lot of people who are perpetuating ideas that are not true, and we have to learn how to discern, use discernment within our own beingness, and know that wisdom lies within us. And if someone is speaking untruth, I like to call it untruth, because the opposite, I don't like using the word lies. I don't like to be accusatory, as easy as it is, and it's sort of, but that also blames people. We all are seeing the same scene, but standing from a different perspective. I can't see what the other person who's sitting over here or over there can see, because we're in a different place, and we're coming from a different place in our minds, in our heads. So, we have to take that into account. Allow people to have their own truth. Everyone has to have their own experience. They came to this world to learn what their own truth is and to sort of demonstrate and pull out of themselves the qualities that they came here with and develop them and be open to new things coming. And we all need to be open now at this time, because the truth of this world is that everything's changing. The only thing that's constant is change. And we're part of that. We chose to come here to be part of that. So we have a choice every second what we're going to believe. And I think this is a time where we really have to go to our own center and stay in that place of knowing what works for me may not work for someone else. What works for them may not work for me. However, we're to choose the high ground and that which serves all in our choices. What I call choosing the highest good for all. Sometimes we have to surrender our agenda, or all of our agenda, to participate in a higher vibration that will raise the collective. That is the overall thoughts of everybody on the planet and the beliefs of everybody on the planet, so that we can go to a higher place and a higher ground. And we know that things are being raised up because the low life is starting to be exposed all over the place. And it must be, because this is the age of truth. So in the age of truth, all must be seen by all. And then we can choose which path we want. We can choose whether we want to believe in a dictatorship, a democracy, or socialism, or communism, or any of those things. And none of it really matters in the big picture, because we are a soul that comes to a physical body for a time period. It's all temporary, temporal in this world. It's all going to pass away, but we want to live in the highest integrity. Those who are not choosing to use integrity, who don't even know what integrity is, they're coming out of the woodwork, like squeezing out. When you have a candy bar, or sometimes I use putty for some of my projects, you squeeze the tube to get it, it comes squooshing out, and I can use, some of it's useful and some of it isn't. So you have to discern what you stand for, and that can change, and we have to allow for change. We allow people to be who they are. I once had a friend who's decided I'm no longer worthy of her friendship because I saw a certain politician mock someone in a very nasty way, and it was not of integrity, it wasn't of light, it wasn't of love, and it wasn't of compassionate. And she said, well, give him a chance. But when I saw that, I thought, that's it. There's no integrity there. So I can't support that, and I won't support anyone who's cruel to other people, to others, or who uses others to their advantage in a negative way. So we have to walk this walk for ourselves. and know that light lives within us, love lives within us, and we came here to choose to a path that will lead us to a higher good, and it will lead what we contribute to the world to a higher place. And it's all on the line right now. And people all over the world, it's really sad that there are people on foot everywhere who no longer have a home, all over the planet, not just our own country and all these places where there are wars and division. And a lot of it is intentional, but it's everyone deserves liberty and freedom and a place to be in peace. And when peace doesn't prevail, you have to get out of the way. And that's true if you have friends who aren't peaceful and who don't approve of your choice to be so. So we want to choose light and choose love and choose to let them have their own experience. Everything, every choice we make and every word we say and everything we do has a consequence. Karma will take care of whatever. It's time to step back, take care of ourselves, take care of number one, and speak our own truth and evaluate our own truth. Does it serve us with the past anymore as it did in the past? There was a time when I was a home flipper, and I love doing that because I'm really creative and I can see, I'm an architect and I see design, I see what needs to be done to correct things. I would get rid of the bad things right away and I'd correct them with new innovative things and clean it up and make it inspiring. Well, we have to do that in our own lives, in our own way, and speak our truth. So that leads us to the place where we can no longer just sit on the sidelines and judge others. Don't worry about it. They'll find their own way. But it's time to take care of number one. And speak your own truth and know that everything you say, think, and do has a result and effect in the world somewhere. So choose carefully and choose wisely. I know it's kind of a general, broad thing here, but it's important to really stand for who we are at this time. And if someone is abusive to you, you don't have to take it. Don't take it. You just get out and say, sorry, that doesn't work for me. I can't work with you. Goodbye. Thank you. When I used to do, and I still do, I have clients, I have design clients, and I did custom art for them. If I found somebody who this is it, if I found them up front giving me problems and were too controlling and weren't happy with many things right away, I would say, you know what, I think someone else can serve you better. I'm not built for that, to bend over backwards and then ask to be done, have to do it again. And even though I have had a tendency to do that, it's time to stop all that. What I'm saying is we're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the age of creation and peace and light. So if it doesn't match that, don't go there. Say no. Just say no. And take charge of your own experience. And don't worry what other people think. You must satisfy yourself. Be creative. Be truthful to yourself. And when I used to buy and sell homes when I was flipping, and I started that way back when I was a young guy, when I was like 20, I bought my first house. And I went to the mortgage broker. It was a little house in Scottsdale, Arizona, with a swimming pool and a view of Camelback Mountain. And it was in the middle of town, in the old town. It was a charming little house. And I bought it from a little old lady who had no broker. She was selling it herself. So I took it to escrow and I did all the steps for her. And in the process, I learned how easy it was to buy and sell homes. And I learned what you have to do to satisfy the bank to get a mortgage. And I took I took everything to escrow myself and filed the papers and turned them in, and I applied for a mortgage. The house was $29,000. It's probably worth several $100,000 now. And the mortgage broker said to me, he looked at my application and he said, well, this won't do. These numbers don't work. And I guess he was trying to help me, and he knew I was young and he wanted to get the mortgage, get the deal done. So he said, here's a fresh piece of paper, and he wrote down on a notebook, a notepad, and tore it off, gave me, use these numbers instead. I filled it out just as he instructed me. I took it to him the next day, and he says, great, the application was accepted, and they gave me the mortgage. And that's how I played the game. I told them what they wanted to hear. And we do that a lot in our culture. We do that to get jobs. We do that to do this and that to satisfy. We do it with our relationships and our lovers, and politicians do it all the time, and the government does it all the time. And sometimes we just have to fill out the forms the way they want it filled out. So you have to use your integrity. And so I realized I can't play that game anymore just to give them the numbers they want to see. If it has to work for me, it has to be right. I always made the money that they asked me to say I was making, and I would raise every year. And that was my watermark, my sort of litmus test of how I could move forward. So you have to go in you have to ask your gut, does this feel right to me? Can I do this? Is this a yes or no? Can I do it and feel good about it? And that's a yes or no. So as long as you're not hurting someone else or harming, I always believed there was nothing wrong with filling out the papers the way I wanted to fill them out. And sometimes we have to do that, in a sense, to get the deal done. However, if it doesn't feel right in your gut and you know that it's a lie and you cannot perform as expected, then don't go there. Do what feels right to you. This is all about and treat others the way you want to be treated yourself, because how we treat others will be coming back on us anyway. It's a boomerang. And these politicians are the best example. They don't get it. They don't many of them don't get that. So we're planning for people who are lumen beings to move into some of those situations and positions. It's evolving. It's going to happen. But it's in increments. Sometimes there's big steps, sometimes there are little steps. So you want to support the love and the positivity and the truth. And we're not going to stand for these untruths anymore. Same is true of Big Pharma. They're just trying to cover up the problem here. And sometimes it's helpful, but it's also can be addictive. And it's use areas with the charges for something that could be done naturally with herbs or with homeopathy or a better diet. So we want to explore those things now, and they're available everywhere. So I'm just encouraging you to think about these things before you take action. And, before you react, count to 10 in your mind and say, okay, I'm just not going to just respond with the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm going to have wisdom. There's wisdom within you. There's wisdom in me, and all of us. So let's just know that the greater power of truth lives within us, and that we will go there as needed and use it all the time and encourage it in others, and just say no when integrity isn't present, and stand for right. Stand for the higher path and choose the high road, and know that there's something in you. It's called a soul, and your soul and your gut and your higher self knows what the real truth is. Ask that, and then take action. So thanks for listening. Adam Paul Seagram. You can contact me on Facebook at Adam Paul Seagram on Messenger if you wish to have a session. I'm a very, very powerful, intuitive. I'm never off, and I can help you choose the right path if that's what you are seeking. The perfect guidance. So have a great day and love yourself, and then love others. Thanks for coming around. Bye.